Hey everybody, I'm Ethan.
And I'm Jesse.
And today, we're taking a look at this, the Ariel Rider Rideal.
Now let's review.
The only thing that gives the Rideal away as an electric bike is the exposed battery. But other than that, it has a nice and simplistic style.
Simplicity is a theme with this bike, and Washington-based Ariel Rider has managed to pull it off very well without sacrificing quality and functionality. Everything from the well-made aluminum frame to the soft handlebar grips and comfortable seat would lead the rider to believe that the bike is in a higher price tier than it is.
Mechanical disc brakes on both the wheels bring the bike to a stop with ease. The 6-speed Shimano transmission is a welcome feature for a commuter, since much of the competition seems to be leaning towards single-speed bikes, so having multiple gears to help with climbing hills or reaching higher top speeds is something we always love to see on a bike.
Making it up hills and reaching fairly high speeds is not a difficult task for the Rideal thanks to the 750-watt hub motor on the rear wheel, which is a very large and powerful motor for a bike of this size and weight.
It is limited to 20 miles per hour to keep it a Class 2 e-bike, and while this speed is sometimes a bit underwhelming, it makes sense to comply with regulations. The motor is controlled by 5 levels of cadence sensing pedal assist or by a half-twist throttle on the right handlebar.
The pedal assist is smooth and doesn't suddenly engage and make the bike lurch forward like other pedal assists of many other bikes we've tested. The throttle has a bit of a delay, but it isn't too bad and it's easy to get used to. If you don't want to accidentally accelerate by using the throttle unintentionally, the switch to disengage the throttle is a nice feature to have.
Keeping with the simplistic design, the Rideal has no screen, but features a simple control unit with pedal assist buttons, a headlight switch, and a power button.
It also features a headlight, a tail light, and a front basket and rear rack as optional features. Powering everything on the Rideal is a 48-volt, 14-amp-hour lithium-ion battery that gives a claimed range of between 30 and 60 miles.
I tested the Rideal riding around town with mostly pedal assist on level 3 and a bit of throttle here and there, and I managed to go 38 miles before the battery completely died, so the claimed range is right on point for this bike.
Wow, most actual ranges on e-bikes are usually nowhere close to the claimed range, so I'm very impressed that they actually hit their claimed range, and that it seems like with being a little more efficient, you could even get further.
This range obviously depends on pedal assist level, throttle usage, rider weight, and terrain, but with moderate pedal assist and throttle usage, somewhere in that range is definitely achievable. The Rideal is a very tall bike, and even with the seat height as low as it will go, my feet won't touch the ground flat. I'm about average height at 5'9", so anyone who is even a few inches shorter than me could have a hard time getting on and riding this bike.
This is the high step frame, and there is a mid-step frame available that has a 33-inch minimum seat height as opposed to the 37-inch minimum seat height of the high step. So that option probably is the way to go if you're below average height. One advantage of having the higher seat height and also the forward swept handlebars is that it puts you in a position to put more power into the bike. I think that's what gives the bike more range, and it's definitely a user preference.
Riding the Rideal is not much different than riding a normal bike. It isn't bulky or heavy like many electric bikes, and its narrow profile and relatively light weight of 52 pounds make it just as nimble and easy to maneuver as a regular non-electric bike. It doesn't have any suspension, so large bumps are going to be rough, but for the most part, it can handle uneven surfaces without being too uncomfortable.
The 27.5 by 1.95 tires have a tread that is good on both dirt and pavement.
Optional features such as the front basket and the rear rack for this bike make it even more functional as a commuter or for running errands. For a bike as capable and well made as the Rideal, you would think the price would be through the roof. But this is one of the most affordable electric bikes in this category. The Ariel Rider Rideal comes in at $999 US, which is an absolute steal for the quality and features of this bike.
With the front basket and rear rack costing just shy of $70 a piece, you will be over the $1,000 mark if you choose to equip the bike. But either way, the Rideal is one of the best bikes for the money on the market today.
My only real complaint with this bike is that it doesn't have suspension, but considering the price point that it's at, I think that's something you can do without.
And so you took it for 38 miles. how comfortable were you at the end of that trip?
I wasn't that uncomfortable. Handlebar grips are great. Comfort, even though the riding position is a little bit leaned over, it's not bad. I had also never ridden a bike even remotely close to that far in one trip before, so this was a first for me as well. Yeah, and by the end of that ride, you know, I was tired, but not that much because the bike really did do a lot of the work.
We've tested a lot of bikes. A lot of the range numbers that you're seeing out there on the internet are not accurate. This one's accurate. 750 watt motor, which is really nice.
Obviously I wanted to get the most range, so I stayed in a mid-level of pedal assist, so I did have to put some work into it, but this bike has no problem going up steep hills.
It's kind of everything you want in a bike for a really, really nice price.
The under $1,000 price point for this bike is really exceptional, and I don't know how they managed to pull it off, especially considering the quality of this bike.
We've tested the whole gambit in terms of bikes. We've gone from everywhere from like, you know, you turn it, nothing happens, then it's like, goo! And we have really nice bikes where you don't even feel the cadence sensing, you just feel like you're like Superman on a bicycle. Where does this kind of lie in that spectrum?
You can tell it's cadence sensing. It doesn't blend perfectly smoothly when you're pedaling, but for being a cadence sensing bike, this is one of the best ones I've ridden. A lot of bikes, when you start pedaling, it lurches forward. This one really just assists you. It's pedal assist. It really helps push you forward. It doesn't take over completely.
So on the handlebars, you have your shifter, you have your throttle, you have your, you know, brakes, you have your bell. Nice. You also have the little display, shows you your power level, shows you your battery level, shows you if you have your headlight on. I like the simplicity of the display. The only problem is you don't get to see your speed. And now most e-bikes don't have like a GPS system, but you might be watching this video on your GPS system. And that's why I think a phone mount would make this bike perfect, and there's a perfect spot for it.
Yeah, it is.
We were sent these awesome phone mounts by Bone. Here's the cool thing. It's just a big elastic band. You put it all around.
Yeah, and so once you mount this thing, you just simply take your phone, put it on there, turn it to the side, and it locks right in. And these mounts are really cool. I did test them off-road and while I was riding out and about, and they held my phone on perfectly fine. They didn't even budge. You can put them anywhere you want. You're not stuck with one spot on the bike. They're really versatile. It lets you have control over where you want your phone to be.
And I mean, you know, we just had it in landscape mode here. If you wanted it in portrait, it's nice and easy. In fact, you can just kind of turn it to whatever orientation you want. And then when you need to go, slap it right off. It does come with this thing that holds it on, which you can kind of slip in your pocket.
Yep, it's no more bulky than a phone case, so it's not a big deal to have on your phone. And this is great because it's also stretchy, it's made of rubber, so you can stretch it over any size phone.
So thank you so much to Bone for opening our eyes to this pretty neat phone holder. Like, that's exactly where you want the phone to be.
No, it really is. Like, I actually do like these phone mounts a lot.
Really awesome.
All right, well, thank you guys very much for watching this episode of Now Let's Review. If you like this video, make sure to like it and share. Also subscribe to our channel. We have lots more content on the way.